right. Hello, everyone. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and today we are going to be doing more leak coding. So first off, the question is, we're trying to figure out, does understanding a couple problems deeply, does this generalize and make it where you can understand the topic better? So if I'm able to go and really understand like four problems, and then study like how do those four problems work? Why are they working? What's going on? Really understand the question, okay? Then does that generalize to being able to then go and solve other problems within the same domain? Now, that's the question. I did four problems last week, and then I did three problems this week on Sunday. Okay, now I'm trying to see, okay, well, let's see if I am able to generalize. So last time that I did a video, I was kind of able to see some connections. Let's try it again. So let's answer that question. Does leak coding generalize? So we're living in this little area right now, which is sliding window. So we're doing sliding window and going back and forth between like 2 pointers and sliding window. So let's come here. Let's refresh the page. Okay. And let's find a medium to do. Okay. Grumpy bookstore owner. All right. Let's see what's going on here. All right, number 1052, grumpy bookstore owner. There is a bookstore owner that has a store open for in minutes, okay? You are given an integer array customers. Okay, so first off, ding, 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 ding. We are given an array. So remember, sliding window, what kind of data structure does that work on? It works on arrays and strings, which strings are just arrays, okay? Of length n, where customers of I is the number of customers that enter the store at the start of the ith minute. Okay, so like customers of I is an array where each element in that array is how many customers entered the store at that minute. So if you have an array of 60 elements, that would be over the course of this hour, how many, if you sum them all up, right, that would be the total number of people who entered the store within that hour. And it breaks it down based off the minute, right? So on the 32nd minute, maybe 5 people entered the store. Okay, so that's just what it's saying. And all of the customers leave at the end of that minute. Okay, so each customer is just there for one minute. They go and then they leave. So it's actually how many customers visit the store in that minute. Okay. During certain minutes, the bookstore owner is grumpy. You are given a binary array where grumpy I is 1 if the bookstore owner is grumpy during the ith minute, and 0 otherwise. So we're given an array which is grumpy, and this indicates which minute the store owner is grumpy. Okay. When the store owner is grumpy, the customers entering during that minute are not satisfied. Otherwise, they are satisfied. So if the store owner is grumpy, they're not going to be satisfied. If the store owner is not grumpy, they are satisfied. Okay. The bookstore owner knows a secret technique to remain not grumpy for minutes, consecutive minutes, okay? Which is another abstraction. So this is just going to be like for 3 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever. And it's consecutive. Okay, so here's another thing that is common in sliding window. Okay, well, there's many techniques that can deal with arrays, right? You can have like binary searches. You can have whatever, like a whole bunch of different techniques that can solve array problems. But one of the key indicators for sliding window is, well, it deals with consecutive data. So data within a window, right? So I see consecutive minutes. So, okay, that's another clue to me for sliding window. If obviously I didn't know it was sliding window. I'm just trying to go over like how I would have known that this was sliding window if I hadn't purposefully clicked on that question. Okay, but this technique can only be used once, okay? Return the maximum number of customers that can be satisfied throughout the day. All right, so we have customers here, and we have Grumpy, which is here. And he can have 3 minutes where he is consecutively not grumpy. So let's see. Look, I can already think of a possible way to do this. So minutes 3. This means I have a window of 3. Okay. And now I am going to take a look here, and this is going to be my window. Now notice 3 elements. This is something that I always get messed up. I say, well, should my pointer be here and then plus 3, right? Or how do I do that? Like I'm always messing myself up. So in this problem, I'm going to have to make sure that I say, hey, no, it is 3 elements in your processing, right? In your window, in your frame. Okay, and now we'll need to be able to think about that. So I'm going to have 3 units here, and then I am going to check, like, okay, well, here is Grumpy. So he's grumpy for this one time in this window, and it increases my count by how many? 0, actually, because there's 0 customers that come in. Then I'm going to come and have a 3 window here. And then I'm going to say, well, how does this increase my satisfaction? Okay, which that corresponds to this one. Let's see, this one and this one. So now it's actually been increased by 2 because previously this one right here was not satisfied. Okay, but if I have the case where he's not grumpy for this 3 minutes, I use that window to make 0, 0, 0, right? It's going to increase his customer satisfaction by this 2 here. All right, then I come here and I say, oh, okay, how much in this window? Well, it's still 2 because it's only this one right here. Then I come here and I check how much did this increase it. I'm kind of getting lost in the indices, but I think it's 1. I think it's this one right here. And then I come here and I have 3. And then I say, okay, well, it's this 1 plus this 5. Hey, it's 6. Okay, so this is the largest increase. And then what I can do is return, assuming that this is 0, 0, 0, right? That's the consecutive window that he's able to control his anger. So I'm going to change all those to 0. And then I'm going to say, here is the number of satisfied customers. Okay. So let's start to try to code this out. And I am first going to have satisfied is going to be equal to 0. Okay. And then I want to first find the number of satisfied customers right now. Do I want to do it that way, or do I want to? Because, okay, so I'm going to talk through what I'm kind of thinking. First off, what I could do, one of two ways. I just calculate the number of satisfied customers straight up. I just do if this one, or like if this one, or I guess if not this one, right? If it's a 0, then I add this number to my running sum. And so then I calculate all of the sums, or that one sum. It's an O of in operation. I'm just going and calculating it without any changes, without any sliding window. Then I go and apply the sliding window and I calculate like max increase. Okay. And then at the end, I do sum, or like satisfied, right? Like sum plus max increase would be my answer. But the other way is I don't do it like that. I just come in here and I say, okay, well, assuming actually, I do like that. I do like that. So, satisfied. So this is like the initial satisfied thing. So for, I'm just going to go while index, okay, is equal to 0. Okay, so while index is less than length of customers. Okay, now am I guaranteed that customers and grumpy are the same length? Yes, I am. Okay. And I'm also guaranteed that in is the same. Okay, cool. So while I do this, I am going to say if not grumpy of I, okay, if not grumpy of I, then I want satisfied plus equals customers of I. Okay. All right, so now we have found, without any addition, without using this technique of remaining non-grumpy, of controlling his anger, this is how many satisfied people there are. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and say increase, okay, is equal to 0. Currently, we haven't done the window yet. So I am going to build my window. Okay. So right equals left equals 0. Okay. While right is smaller than, this is minutes, right? Yep. So minutes here is going to be our number of things that we are able to, so now let's, this is something that always trips me up. Is it equal to or just like that? Let's think about this for a second. So I want to, and I'm going to just put it like this. Let's say nums is equal to, like this, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And my minutes is 2. So I want to come here, and I'm going to have my left and right here. And I am going to come in here. I'm first going to add. So if, now it's going to be the opposite. And I'll explain that in a second. If grumpy of right, if he is grumpy, increase plus equals customers of right, okay, and then right plus equals 1. Okay, so let's kind of go through this. Why did I do it? If he is grumpy, right? So this is the window. This means like he's able to control his anger. So if he already wasn't grumpy, that's not going to lead to an increase. Okay? But if he is grumpy, that was previously a 0. He got 0 satisfied customers. But now if he is grumpy and he uses it within this window, That's a satisfied customer. That's an increase. Okay? Okay. So now what am I gonna do? I'm going to add this to my context. And what that means is I'm adding this element here to my context, okay? Then what I do is I do right plus equals 1. Right plus equals 1. So I'm here on my 1th element or index, but I have not added the 1th element, right? It's like this. I haven't added it to my context. Okay? Then I said I wanted it to be 2, right? So that means I want 2 elements in here. And I only have 1 element right now. So then I come back up here. I check this one if it matches the condition. And then I add it to my context. Okay? And then I come here, right plus equals 1. And see, this is kind of what I was always getting tripped up on, is look at this. It's like moved over here to the next index, but how many elements did I actually add? I only added 2 elements. This one. This 2 has not been added, which is exactly what I want, and I want it to stop at this. So minutes is equal to 2, and now, or minutes is 2, and I wanted to only add 2 elements. There it is. Okay. So now what do? We will okay. Current max is equal to increase. Okay, so current max is equal to increase. So now I am seeing that I could have also done it the other way that I was thinking about. But okay, we're just going to stick with this because we're trying to figure out a solution. So current max is going to be like, what is the current maximum increase? And this increase here is going to be my context. I need to be able to, why did I do this? I need to be able to change it because increase is going to be changing the entire time as I'm sliding it. I need some variable to kind of store my my current maximum without changing as it gets slid. Okay, so now while right is less than length of customers. Now what do we want to do? We want to, and let's look back up here, we want to add this element or this window into our, do we want to process it? No, because we actually just processed it right here. So increase is equal, current max is equal to this window. Okay, so we checked it. So now what we want to do is we want to write plus equals, no, we want to get it out of our context. So what does that mean? That means we want to get rid of this 0th element. So now if grumpy of left, so I'm looking at the left, I'm just gonna move this down here. Okay, so now if grumpy of left, if this was a 1, right, I want to subtract that from my increase. Increase minus equals customers of left. Okay. So that goes like this. Right there. So I got rid of this from my context. Okay. So now, if grumpy of right, so I want to add this element. See, my goodness, I really like this method that I created yesterday of doing it this way. So I want to add this element. So if grumpy of right, okay, which right is currently at this index, but I haven't added it to my context. So do I do right? Do I do right plus 1? Do I do right minus 1? Well, look at it. It's right there. When you write it out, it's so obvious. I love this. I love it. Okay, so, and then watch me get it wrong. I think I'm on the right, direction, but anyways. Hopefully now that I said that, I don't get it wrong, but if grumpy of right, then what do I do? Increase, and I want to add to my rolling window. Customers of right, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means I come here and I do that. And notice there's 2 elements in there. So now what I can do is I can say current max is equal to the maximum of current max and increase. So if this window caused us to increase more, we're going to take that as our current maximum. Then what do we need to do? We just need to come here and move this element over by 1, like that, and then move this element over by 1. Okay? So what does that correspond to? Right plus equals 1, left plus equals 1, just like that. Okay? Now, in the case that then we want to stop when it's equal to the length. Okay, so what do we want to return? We want to return the satisfied plus current max, because current max was the maximum number of customers that were previously unsatisfied but now are satisfied. Okay, I'm going to press run. I hope it works. Come on. Even if it doesn't, I don't like that it's taking so long. I hope at least that I got the right concept, Okay. Didn't like this one. Minutes was 3. Time exceeded. So while right is less than minutes, okay, I increase right. While I is, I plus equals 1. Okay, let's run it again. Okay, 2 accepted. Let's press that submit button and let's see. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes! Yes! Okay! Oh my goodness! Got it. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so yes, I think it is. I think my current method of going about Leetcode is actually providing tangible results. I've been struggling with Leetcode for literally a year now. I've been trying to do Leetcode for a year now. And I just changed up my methodology about a month ago. And now, when I went through this problem, I felt so much more confident and competent. I had a way to actually visualize what was going on. I had a way of understanding and conceptualizing about what element I'm adding into my rolling sum, what element I'm taking out of my rolling sum. And I knew to even think about it in that way, because previously I was doing things like, oh, well, I remember I need to do like this, I need to do it like that. and I didn't have a organized way of understanding the problem itself. I was doing a lot of problems, and I was doing a lot of sliding window problems, but I wasn't hardcore just understanding, even if it's three problems, even if I just do three problems in 1 week. That's much better than doing 10 problems that you don't really understand. Because, as you guys saw in my YouTube videos, because I've been documenting this entire process, what I would do is I would come home from work, I would be extremely exhausted, I would come onto Leetcode, I would try to do a problem. I wouldn't really understand it. I would get frustrated. I would feel really stupid. It would lower my. And by the way, that actually did cause bad ramifications in my life because think about it, I was just like getting hammered by these problems. I felt like a complete failure. And so even when I woke up in the morning, I still felt like a failure and I would go to work just low energy, just like, man, I'm dumb or something. Just have this bad feeling about myself. And so that's what I would do. And then work would end again. I would come back home and I would attempt another problem. And then wouldn't be able to understand it. I would then, like, I would go to the solution, look at the solution. Okay, I kind of see what's going on. There we go. I see. I look at this. I try the problem. I spend about 40 minutes trying to do the problem. Then, after I've been defeated, I then go to the solution. I look at the solution. By that time, I'm already so exhausted that I can't really fully understand what the solution is. But even if I did understand what the solution is, I didn't put it in a greater context. So now what I'm doing, Sunday is my hardcore Leetcode day. I just spend like whatever, 6 hours, 6 or 8 hours. I go and I try to do just like, if it's three problems, that's fine. It's three problems. If it's four problems, that's fine. It's four problems. But I spend about 15 minutes trying to do the problem. If I immediately know how to do it, okay, fine, go to the next problem. Then, once I find one that I don't know how to do it, okay, great, immediately go to the solution. But don't just look at it and kind of, I think I get it. Okay. No. Write it down. Write down every thought you have, every connection you have. How is it sliding window? What fundamental problems does sliding window solve? What kind of problems? Like I just said when I was reading the problem, previously I never made the connection about, okay, this algorithm solves this kind of problem, right? Sliding window operates on arrays. And then I did more problems. I did maybe problem number 2, and it was an array again. And I said, okay, well, that can't be a coincidence. It's 2 array problems. Then I got a string, and I said, string? Oh, a string is just a character array. It's another array problem. And then I tried to abstract it more, like, okay, well, what kind of arrays? Because you can do a lot with arrays, right? And then I noticed, well, all of the problems that I'm looking at have something to do with like consecutiveness. Okay, well then, so instead of trying to, I was able to do, okay, yeah, I understand those 4 problems. But then it gave me the ability, because I had just done 4 problems intensely, I was able to kind of go up and look at the abstraction of it and say, okay, well, out of these 4 problems, what did they have in common? They're all sliding window. What did they have in common? Oh, and then I was able to see those connections. So, does this method work? I think yes, because I've never, like, again, you guys have seen my other Leetcode videos. You know how bad I am. You know how that method obviously isn't working. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with these YouTube videos, is just give an honest documentation, an honest, like, process of from the very beginning. Not just Leetcode, right? But I'm also doing my projects because I'm a complete beginner in my projects too, of becoming a back-end engineer, software engineer, right? Doing that entire process. So trying to document each step of the way and find out, okay, well, where are my mistakes? How am I messing up? What are ways to improve my process? So I'm very happy because I feel like this is a good method. I finally think I found a path forward because I was putting in so much energy. I was put every day for like a year doing Leetcode. I was putting in massive amounts of energy. I was then getting depressed because of it. And I was just feeling terrible about myself, about like, man, I'm so dumb. But I think I finally found, okay, it's still going to be a lot of work, right? If we look at this, I've only like lived in this area for the past maybe like month, right? Because I said I changed my strategy last month. I've only lived in this little area. It's going to be a lot of work. I need to do binary search. That's going to be what? 2 more weeks? 3 more weeks? Then I need to do trees. Then I need to do maybe backtrack. I don't know. I don't know the path I'm going to take. I'll document that as well, right? So it's going to be a lot of work. But finally, I feel like I have a path forward and I have a method that it's actually feasible because I felt like I was just drowning before. And then I would just get even more frustrated that I've put so much effort in it and I don't see any improvement. Now I finally see a little bit of improvement. So I am ecstatic and I am excited to move forward on this method. And as I keep saying, I will document the entire way and we'll see. We're going to defeat this chart. We're going to get good at Leetcode. We're going to get really good. We're going to be able to confidently solve mediums. That's my goal. Do you want to do the hards? No, I'm not interested in the hards, right? Maybe I'll look at some of the hards, but that's not my goal. I want to have a very clear understanding of what my goal is. I want to get myself to the level that I can feel confident in mediums of all of the important elements in this graph, right? Like maybe there are ones that are, I don't know, bit manipulation. I mean, if I'm doing embedded systems, which I mean my major or my job is embedded systems, so maybe that's like important, but I don't know. So I'll find out which ones are important and focus on those, but I want to get to the point where I'm confident in mediums. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it and want to join me on this journey, feel free to subscribe. I would love that, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the day. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I'll see you in the next video.